Hi everyone, Rebecca here. I am your instructor for this semester of cultural anthropology. I put a photo of myself in the corner so you know that I'm talking to you. I am making this video for you today to tell you a little bit about the final project, which is in fact a film project, and to give you a bit of an overview about what I expect and what's expected of you from the rubric. So first of all, this project is to have you watch a film or a movie and assess it from an anthropological perspective. There are 2 milestones for this project. The first is due in week 3 when you are to actually choose the film that you plan to watch. And then in week 5 you'll submit a rough draft, and then finally the final project will be due in week 7. So first things first, let's talk a little bit about the project expectations. And first of all, the most important thing is that you demonstrate your knowledge of course themes through the writing of this paper on your film. Second of all, make sure you choose a film that you've seen at least once before and that you're comfortable and would like to watch more than once again, and something that you can think about from an anthropological perspective. You also need to apply some anthropological perspectives, theories, or methods to this film in order to critically analyze it. And finally, enjoy a good movie. Think about it a little bit differently. Show me what you've learned about anthropology throughout this semester and what you've learned about culture. So once you select your film, you need to really think about a thesis. And a thesis is something that really guides your paper, and it's an argument. The college level type of writing I'm expecting of you really does need to have a thesis that's an argument. So try to stick to that idea. I gave you an example here about a thesis that wouldn't work, and that is that in this film a rude character causes trouble. And this isn't really a thesis, it's actually a fact. So perhaps saying that there's a rude character that causes trouble, but that his role is really instrumental to the message or the theme of the film would be a thesis, because then you can provide specific explanations as to why he's critical or she is critical, etc. And then assess that person's role through 3 different anthropological perspectives. Also in the film summary, you really need to do it pretty succinctly. So who, where, what, when, and why is pretty good, and try not to overwhelm your whole paper with a summary and then spend 2 paragraphs on analyzing it. That's not really a very good ratio. You'll notice on this particular image that prepare thesis is underlined in purple, so this is actually a hyperlink in the PowerPoint that I have as a screenshot up here for you, so I will be posting this PowerPoint as well, so you can click through and see some of the links that SNHE provides to help you. You also need to do some outside research. Dun, dun, dun. I know this is never anyone's favorite idea, but as an anthropologist, this is actually my favorite part of what I do, so it's your turn to do the same. Please don't just Google things. Really do use the Shapiro Library. I suggest a few of the databases they have on this slide. So the SAGE database is quite good. It has a lot of social science information. Culturegrams has sort of country-wide and culture-wide descriptions. And then finally, the Gale Virtual Reference Library has a whole bunch of ebooks. So you can actually search the Shapiro Library and try to find some sources. If you're having issues with that, the library actually has a lot of links on their website to help you navigate things. But again, I can always help you if it's really just too thick for you. We can work something out and we'll get you searching things. And finally, absolutely no Wikipedia ever in college level papers, because Wikipedia doesn't really reference a lot of its information, so not everything up there is necessarily accurate. So another really important part of your paper is actually explaining culture through it. You need to describe a cultural change that occurs either in the film as a whole or in a particular scene, and this is actually part of the rubric. And then finally, you also need to think about what's cultural about your film, so that way you can apply at least 3 themes or perspectives from anthropology to your film. And some of these themes or perspectives can be things about religion, foodways, cultural relativistic perspectives, things like that. So you need to choose 3 and write about them. And then finally, in your concluding section, you need to think about how you now see the film in a more anthropological tone. And this is really the crux of the paper. This is really the point. And this is what's really important to me. More specifics, your paper shouldn't exceed 5 pages, but needs to be at least 3. Title and bibliography are obviously not part of that. You should use APA-style citations. That's in text and bibliography. Practice your paraphrasing beforehand. SNHU has a lot of information also on their website about using the APA style. You can actually find the style guide by Googling it. So try to get familiar before you start writing. And finally, this paper is worth 36% of your grade. And of that 36%, I've broken down for you how much each milestone and then the final submission is worth. And some final thoughts. Have fun. Choose a film you like. Think about it differently. And really importantly, think critically and view the rubric. If I'm going to grade you on it in a specific way and it's all laid out for you, make sure you check off those boxes and you give good examples. And finally, message me with issues. If you can't really decide on a film, send me an email. Maybe I can help direct you into something based on your interests, things like that. And as usual, this is supposed to be a learning experience, so try to make the best of it. And please try not to do anything very last minute because it's very obvious in your writing. And again, send me an email if you're having problems.